All right, everybody. Welcome back. Episode 124. If you listened last week, you will know this is the much anticipated, long awaited, especially by Hunter, conspiracy episode, which we managed to time perfectly because there is virtually no sports to talk about this week.
Really not. No, I can't think of anything.
And lucky for you guys, we have a full podcast again this week with myself, Gooch.
Hunter,
No, so nobody else going to talk.
sorry, I didn't
Hunter always
know
goes
what was going
second,
on.
so
True. Well, because we never know if Wiz is going to be here or not. It's always a surprise for the listeners.
I'm out of rhythm with it. It's been a minute.
But before we get really deep in the mud about these conspiracy theories, I do want to talk about the one and only sports thing that happened over the past week. And that is the NBA All-Star game.
I didn't watch a
So,
lick of that shit,
uh,
except for CJ Stroud winning, or not winning, but he scored 30 points, 32, something like that.
30. Yeah,
30.
hits 7 home runs in the Cactus Jack
so
softball
yeah,
game.
like
I mean, it's
we are
all
all
around
ready
team.
to say that the All-Star game is dead, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's washed.
And like
it's
you
been
can't
washed.
fix it. Like it's unfixable.
Bring Kobe back.
But because like the problem is the players are getting paid too much money. Like you can say that, oh, it's some people say, oh, it's on the fans because the fans don't care, so the players don't care. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much we care. The players don't care about the fans past a certain point. Like if I'm paying 50 million, if I'm getting paid $50 million a year, I don't care how much the fans like the All-Star game.
Yeah,
But
I can't tell you the last time I watched an All Star game. I think probably the last time I watched it was whenever Kobe died.
I think that was the last time I watched it too.
I don't even think
The
I
dunk
watched it
contest been
then.
shit.
This
Three
just
point contest was shit. What happened? There was what's her name? Sabrina
the
Ionescu.
was it?
woman.
Yeah. What happened with her and Steph? Who won?
So
Steph
she
won, but she competed. She tied for second, didn't she?
so she would have tied Dame who won the because
Steph won.
there was two 3-point contests. There was like the men's 3-point contest, and there was Steph versus her.
Oh,
So Dame won the 3-point men's 3-point contest with 26. And then she got 26. And then Steph got like 29.
but Steph wasn't in the regular 3-point contest.
No.
That's dumb. See, that's another problem with the NBA All-Star break. Like the greatest 3-point shooter of all time is not in the 3-point contest.
And she shot from the NBA line.
Yeah, that was impressive. As much as like, I mean, we know my stance on the WNBA here, but that was impressive.
I mean, Max McClung won the dunk contest again. Who? That's all he
Did
does.
he?
Like, there's no good dunks. I think he did.
But it got me thinking about this. The only All-Star game that is still watchable, and I never thought it would come to this because I used to love the NBA All-Star game, like when I was a kid. But it's gotten to the point where, like, obviously, the Pro Bowl, the NFL Pro Bowl now is flag football, so that's in the
That's fucking
trash.
awful.
Trash.
Like, I
Trash.
like the rest of the stuff around it, like the skills challenges and like,
The only thing I like about NFL All-Star or whatever is the quarterback throwing challenge. That's the only thing that
yeah.
entertains me.
Yeah.
But so talking about the actual game, the All-Star game, Pro Bowl, whatever it is. The only one that is still watchable is the MLB
For sure.
because you can't fake that. Like
True.
at its essence, even if the players like don't care, like they still don't want to go get embarrassed. Like Bryce Harper, no matter how much he cares about the All-Star game, he doesn't want to go 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Like he's just not going to do that. And no pitcher wants to bust their balls for 80 games to get the starting spot for the National League All Star team and then get shelled because they're just throwing
Right.
straight fastballs.
That's what I was
Like,
about to say. Like, what happens if somebody like gets a fucking Tommy John in an All-Star game. Has that
But
happened?
I mean,
they all pitch for like 1 inning, don't
yeah. Well,
they?
so that's the thing. Yeah, is like they pit like the longest anybody's gone recently is like 2 innings.
So like, what's the
You
odds
also
of
have
that?
like yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I'm sure you're not going like balls to the wall trying to like pop out the radar gun, but you're still trying to put a good sequence together because you're not trying to give up 8 earned runs on national
True.
television. And like I said, it's just the essence of baseball is like no matter how much the players care, no matter how much you boil it down, at the end of the day, like the essence of the game is still 1-on-1 pitcher versus batter. And like it's not like you can't just decide not to play defense. And like with baseball, like they can't just decide to not play defense like in the NBA. Like that ball will just sit on the grass until the defense picks it up. Like so it's just
I'm
I
toned
never
out. I'm sorry.
yeah, I can tell them
I fucking
edibles
toned out.
took you the fuck out.
They kicking my ass.
I know I warned about this last week when Wiz was hyping up you taking a whole bunch of edibles. Like you've never been
Well,
on
no,
a
I just
podcast with Edible Hunter.
it's
It's a
just
lot of
it didn't
legwork.
peak. Whenever I lose my interest, I just fucking zoop, and I
It
start
was
playing
a
around with the dock, and I'm like, oh shit,
it
I'm
was a
not paying
subtle
attention.
insult.
Sorry. Well, no, it's
He
not.
doesn't love baseball like us.
He
I know.
doesn't.
I
He's
just
a
don't be watching
casual.
all. Hey, fuck you! I just don't
Cash.
be watching All-Star games, so I just tuned out.
Man gets a couple World
I
Series and is like, I'll watch in October.
Hunter. I watched 162 games of Astros baseball last year. That's how committed I am.
Well,
Yeah,
we
you
watched
missed
every
almost
game.
that many podcast episodes, so you had the
You
time.
fuck off.
Um, but all right, I just wanted to get that in real quick about just the interesting decline of all-star games, but baseball's the greatest sport in the world because you can't fake it. But what you all came to hear,
I got one more sports thing.
never mind, we are not there yet.
I don't know if y'all have seen it, but there's now Apple Sports. I'm the biggest Apple fanboy ever. So I'm so excited. It definitely needs some like it's not right, but I like the
Wait, so what
I'll have to
is
look
Apple
into it.
Sports? Is it a streaming service or is it an app?
no, you can stream if you have like a setup account like through Apple TV.
Or
Um
Xfinity, maybe.
you can like hook up your Xfinity Apple TV, the app, so you can like stream from a button. But I don't know. I'm liking like the team stats. I don't know if y'all can see, but it looks clean, but it's definitely not perfect. Like I added a couple of like leagues I like, and it sorts them by time and not by league. So I've got basketball games right next to hockey games, like basketball, hockey, basketball, hockey. It's kind of gross, but you can sort by just the teams you like, and then like just the Rockets show up today. Kind of clean.
They got WWE on there.
No, they don't have news either, which is something that
He
I
said
need from
Apple
them.
Sports,
Yes,
Yeah.
not Apple Sports Entertainment.
eat a
Bitch,
dick.
Bleacher Report got WWE.
Okay.
That's how I read my recaps. Bleacher Report.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I be watching all the episodes 'cause I'm a nerd.
I just use the ESPN app like a American.
I don't like the ESPN app.
I don't like the ESPN app either.
Fine. It's good enough.
The layout's trash. I don't trust any man's opinion that still uses Pandora Plus.
I'm grandfathered in, okay? We've had this discussion. I can't leave. I refuse to
I left,
I refuse to rebuild all those playlists.
brother. I had over 4,000 songs on my Apple Music. Ditched that
I
shit for Spotify. It took a lot. It broke me. But
so
I did it.
I love Apple Music because I'm an Apple fanboy, but I don't like its I don't like I don't like how you have to find new music on there.
It's a
So
pain in the ass.
I still go to Pandora. Like I'm
Yeah,
listening
see,
to Kanye West Radio right now, just to like add
Pandora
songs
is
Brother, you can do
stuff.
the same thing on
useful.
Spotify. Spotify's
But
amazing when it comes to finding new music.
I like Pandora.
Fucking
I'm
weirdos.
I'm comfortable.
Y'all are
Dude, I've been
weird.
using
I
Pandora
can
since
get
I
the
was
fuck out of here.
14. Pandora, the algorithm knows me. Spotify don't know
Okay.
me like that.
You don't know. I don't know if you can do this on Spotify, but I listen to comedians on Pandora too. It's fucking. I love it.
I used to have
You
before I
probably
got
could.
deep into listening to podcasts, I had a comedy radio station on Pandora that I would listen to.
Daniel Tosh Radio.
I just put in comedy radio or
Oh,
something.
really?
Yeah.
That's how I learned about half the fuckers I watch now.
I just listen to a podcast like a normal
Like
American.
I said, that was my
Kill yourself.
gateway to podcasts.
Oh,
That was
okay. I
before
feel
I
you.
that was before I really was in the podcast like that.
I've done
Now I'm an industry insider.
entire drives to Dallas listening to Daniel Tosh Radio.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, that sounds boring. Daniel
It's
This
Tosh
dude
isn't that
used to
funny to me.
this dude used to
he's
set
but
an
it goes through
alarm.
different comedians.
This dude used to set an alarm for new Tosh.0 episodes when he was in school.
I used to love Tosh Point.
See what kind of V-neck he wears this week.
How do you know that? Only a
I
fan
mean,
would know that.
it was like the biggest show on cable television for a while. I'm not brain dead.
It really was, wasn't it? It was the
It was pre-ridiculousness.
I was just about to say that. I was gonna say that it walked and ridiculousness ran.
Yeah.
We didn't bring back as a racist.
Wait,
What?
what? Oh, is it
He,
racist? His
yeah,
segment.
he had a segment called "Is It Racist?" where he'd show like the craziest like videos and just ask if it's racist.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, who wants to start the conspiracy theories?
Um,
Wiz
I
said I ended last week's episode by saying, everyone, I'm giving y'all a week. And we even pushed recording back. We're recording on Thursday. Everyone had a week and a half to pick out some conspiracy theories and research them and be ready to present them. Wiz
So
failed to do that.
I didn't research, but I hope these are ones we can talk about.
Okay. They better
oh,
be
I
good
barely
ones then.
researched on
they're
mine.
they're kind of not, but who wants to start?
So I'll start with my one that I'm pretty sure everyone's heard about, but and so the ones that I picked are all ones that I kind of
I got set up for this.
subscribe to, or like one of mine's been proven to be true.
See, I don't believe the ones that I
So
have.
this one very much up for debate. I am intrigued by it and could definitely see it being true. Avril Lavigne.
Oh, that's a good one.
So for Wiz,
Is
do you
that
know?
Paramore singer?
No.
No,
No,
Avril Lavigne. He was a
I
skater
don't.
boy. She said, "See
She
you
died.
later, boy."
boy.
Okay, I
Why do
know
you
the
have to go
song.
and make things so
Yeah, that's her.
complicated? She's
Why you gotta go and make things so
hey,
complicated?
you. I don't like your girlfriend.
We're getting copyrighted.
I love like the lack of enthusiasm behind Gooch's.
Okay, so anyways,
You.
for
Okay, what about her?
the
No,
unindoctrinated listeners and Wiz, who clearly doesn't know where this is going, Avril Lavigne is dead.
she is.
That's the conspiracy theory.
Oh,
Because the public figure, Avril Lavigne, still very much alive and still very much making music. However, the conspiracy theory is that Avril Lavigne, well, so it's a fact that while Avril Lavigne was still alive, and when she was young and like really like blowing up and getting famous, she was like super like emo and just kind of an introvert and not very social. And so she hired a double to make appearances in public so she could kind of go do her own thing and not have, or even like a double just to like mislead like the paparazzi and like get people like thinking she was over here and then she'd be on like the other side of town, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the conspiracy theory is that she died in 2006, 7, give or take a couple of years, around that time period. Maybe it was later than that. I can't remember, but around that time period, she died, and her family used this body double to keep the money coming in.
That's crazy.
And like she still uh puts out music, but they claim that if you take the date and time that she supposedly died, well, her style like completely changed. Like I'll do some screen sharing and find uh
I know.
I,
I
I'm just
dove into
I'm
this one quite a few years ago. I really liked this one. This one also just there's the same one with somebody else. I can't remember.
I'm just looking at pictures. And I don't believe this is the same woman.
exactly. So I'll
Her
put it
hair,
up.
Exactly.
her
Give
hair
me just a
part isn't
second
even the same.
Well,
here.
that
I'll
could
share it.
change.
So this picture right here, I can't blow it up.
I'm
And
looking at the very first picture right there, and I do not believe those are the same woman.
so all right, so y'all can see this here. So this is the Avril Lavigne. This is today's Avril Lavigne, who many people, including myself, believe is her body double, who was a woman that went by the name Melissa. And like
This
she
is bringing up
looks
so many
different.
memories.
She looks different. She acts different. She dress like everything about her personality is different. Like anybody who remembers like prime Avril Lavigne, like this was her. Like t-shirts, big baggy like jean coat jeans and like skater shoes. Now she's wearing like dresses and like pink stuff, and she's like bleached her hair blonde, and like look. So this one is like through the years. Like that lady on the right don't look like. Yeah, I refuse to believe that's the same person.
The one in the middle looks fake. I mean,
Yeah,
That looks like MJ in the middle.
that's that's tough.
that's
But
a
anyways,
rough one.
yeah. So the conspiracy is that she died. I can't remember if there was a cause of death in the conspiracy, but that she died, and her family
I think it
propped
was a
up.
car crash.
Yeah, I think you're right. Propped up her body double as her from then until now in order to A, cover it up, and B, keep the revenue coming in because her whole family was living off of her.
Melissa killing it. What I wonder. So what happened to Melissa's family?
They probably got paid off.
They were to
I
buy
mean,
your
being
daughter.
seriously, I mean that's how all that stuff works. Like anytime like in the news you hear like somebody's getting sued and then all of a sudden they dismiss the case, read that as they took a buyout.
Hmm.
Or in like as much as like I hate to say it, like Josh Giddey, the girl reports all this stuff and then suddenly doesn't want to cooperate with the investigation. Someone cut a check.
Right.
Someone cut a check and then all of a sudden somebody changed their mind. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I legitimately believe that one. I argue with a lot of people because a lot of Avril Lavigne fans don't want to believe that, but truth
No,
hurts.
I completely see it. 100%.
All right, who's next?
I could throw mine out.
Yeah.
Um. So, I think I may have said this one before, and it's a common one. I don't think it's like a rare one, but it's about Walt Disney. Do y'all know that one?
About his being frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a
So
good
like
one.
yeah, because Walt Disney was a genius. He created all this stuff. While his body got old, he wanted to preserve his brain. So in the future, or no, his body. I think they froze his body because so
I thought
in the
they
future
froze
they
his
can.
head.
I want to say it's his body
Why would they freeze his body?
Until they can get a
because
cure for cancer.
The brain's where all the important stuff is. if you're a
his body
genius.
includes his head.
Yeah, the reason why they froze
Oh,
him,
okay.
like they
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
his
yeah.
whole they
Yeah.
froze him as a whole person alive.
He wasn't buried. He was cryogenically
So for
frozen.
like medical advancement, basically.
Right.
So he knew that in the future they'd be able to unfollow him, keep him alive, rada, all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And images leaked of it on the internet. And if you typed in Disney or Walt Disney Frozen, you'd see that. And to cover that up, they came out with the movie Frozen. Let me look at. There was the original name of it. I forgot what it was going to be. Hold on.
So
I
I've
think
heard this theory before, but I never saw the original name for the movie.
they created one of their most successful movies ever to cover that shit up.
It was the Snow Queen.
That would have been
That
game.
makes sense.
It used to be the Snow Queen, and
That makes
then I guess
sense.
and then they changed it into being Frozen.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it began its transformation into Frozen in the early 2000s.
because I had always heard like the rumors about Walt Disney freezing his body when he died before Frozen ever came out. Like I'd
Yeah,
heard those rumors
supposedly
like
it's
my whole
at
life.
Disneyland too, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd heard those rumors like
Probably.
my whole life.
Yeah, I really like that one. It's not. That's why I was saying it's not too deep, but that was a good fun one. And
Hmm.
so now, whenever anybody Googles it, it's virtually impossible to
To
find
get
it because
past. And
Frozen's
now that
so huge.
there's two Frozen or how many Frozen movies are there
I
now?
think
Two.
two.
I know there's at least two, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That bitch is buried.
Hmm. Not literally, but
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
all right. Let's see what
All
Wiz
right.
has for us.
I'm
Give it to
going I'm
me.
going basic. I'm going ironic. But 9/11 was an inside job.
I knew one of y'all was gonna do that one. That's why I left that out.
I didn't decide to do that. I thought it was going to be cliche, but I didn't do enough research and I know decent amount about this, but
How Wiz trying to take away from his own heritage culture right now.
I know. But with two big things that really get it for me, it's the Pentagon. There every picture of the Pentagon after it got hit, there's no remnants of plane. No plane remnants.
Yeah.
So the conspiracy is that there was like a missile fired at it.
Well, and like the Pentagon conspiracy is like you can see like the picture when the plane hits the towers and the hole in the tower is plane
Yeah.
shaped,
Yes, and it's just
but the hole in the Pentagon is just a
is not
hole.
plane shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the plane that was reportedly heading towards the White House just happened to crash. So while they were attacking all these monuments, it just so happened not to reach Bush's house. So little fishy, but jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Well, so
Um,
I've always been a resistor of the 9/11 was an inside job theory. Like the jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, that does nothing for me. The whole thing about the plane crash and all that does nothing for me. Where that the theory finally got me was two things. Tower 7.
yes.
Tower
Forgot about
7's
that.
so fishy. Go
What?
look up the video. So there was
It's a
more. So the
smaller.
World Trade Center was a whole complex. It wasn't just the two towers that fell. There were at least 7 World Trade Center towers. And so you can look up like aerial video footage. So a third tower collapsed on 9/11. And it wasn't like on the other side of like the complex. It
Yes.
received no damage from the plane attacks. It received little to no damage from the two towers collapsing, and it just collapsed on its own.
How
With
the
an
fuck have I not seen that?
Yeah, so when we get done, look up Tower 7. That's all you'll just
What got me is whenever you watch the video, whenever a plane hits it, it's gonna fucking shake the building. But whenever you watch it fall, it starts fucking like going
I don't think
down.
you
You know what I
understand how big
mean?
these buildings are.
So they're actually designed to topple like that because
Oh, never mind.
Especially
if
in
they
New York
fell,
City, if they fall sideways,
it
they're
yeah,
gonna kill
it's
a
tons of
million fucking
damage.
people and fall
I'm
on 6 different apartment buildings.
I'm pretty sure there's a quote out there by like the designer of the World Trade Center who like said, "Oh, thank God," when he saw him fall.
I nailed it.
I mean, he's like, it could have been worse.
Yeah. Task failed
Oh man.
successfully.
I still love that video of the kids in that hotel room. That's like, oh, what were they cheering something about college or something like that?
I know the
And
video
then
you're
they were like,
talking
"Hi!"
about.
They're like, "It's just apple juice. Hi, mom. Oh my god! Oh my god!" You just pan
Yeah.
to it. It's the fucking plane hitting the tower.
Um so the other part where I get reeled in on the 9/11 inside job, the insurance policy. On September 10th, the owner of the World Trade Center took out like a brand new multi-billion dollar insurance policy that the previous policy did not include, but the new policy did include coverage for terrorist events. I think it was Rothschild. I can't remember the name of the guy. I want to say it's Rothschild, but there's a whole thing about the insurance claim after that came about afterwards. And yeah,
Oh
like
yeah.
supposedly the theory is that the claim or the new policy finalized and went into effect on September 10th.
And
And just so happened to specifically have a clause detailing terrorist attacks.
we're not even talking about the fact that the US was going into a recession around that time and war fuels the economy. So it only makes sense to blame the Middle East, attack them, do all that just to. I actually gave a paper on that bit in a not a paper presentation, and I can't remember what class it was, but I was trying to be an asshole, and I got a decent grade.
George Bush don't care about white people.
Dude, the best part of that video
Oh
is
wait, no, that was
don't
George
care
Bush don't
about
care about
black
black
people.
people.
But
That's what
the
it
best part
was.
about that video is Michael Myers or Mike Myers reaction.
Oh, is that Kanye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Like
just clicked for
Mike
me.
Myers gets so uncomfortable immediately. All right, we're gonna take a break. All right. So
Oh
one
shit.
of mine is just like kind of a fun fact that like you can read into or not. So the Illuminati, big,
Mm.
big spooky organization that may or may not exist. Well, if you go to the website Illuminati backwards, so however you spell Illuminati backwards .com, that web page redirects to the NSA home site.
Hmm.
The NSA being the National Security Agency, the
Something like
ones that
that. Yeah.
spy on all of our text messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, Illuminati backwards.com will take you to the NSA website. Which now that's easy to do though. Like I could buy markgooch.com and
And then do the
have
same
and
thing.
have that
Yeah.
redirect, but it's just interesting. I thought it was like a little fun fact.
Okay. Yeah. That kind
You
of
think they
just
want that taken down though?
You would think the NSA would have a problem with that.
that is very true.
I'm testing it out right now.
I was wondering what you were doing over there. You're,
Curious.
yeah, you're like
I
intently.
Yeah, I remember this like back in middle school. It used to take you to like us.gov. So it's changed over the years, which is funny.
Any of y'all
Some
ever go to whitehouse.com on accident?
what is that?
No.
Whitehouse.com. is a porn site, and it wasn't my class or anything, but my mom is a teacher, and in her school, one of the first grade teachers, they were doing big government section in class, and she gave each of her students a different president to go home and research, and printed them out little information papers, and made a typo on the paper and told all of her students to go home and research their president on whitehouse.com, not whitehouse.gov.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like it
That
was like
is
a
you said your mom?
no, a different teacher in my mom's school.
Oh my god. Did she get in trouble?
I think she caught it. Like I think she caught either a parent like saw it and like asked her about it, and then but she ended up like that afternoon, evening, whatever, calling all the parents and like telling them what had happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That
wild.
is rough. That's a big oof.
Yeah, right.
That's a major large oof moment. Like how do you come back? That's so embarrassing.
That is bad.
Hi, Mr. Robert, please don't
Well,
do the homework tonight. It's it's a mistake. Just do not go. Just throw it away.
and
It's fine. I'll give him an A.
the bad
Thank
part
you.
is like this was like back in the day when like if you were like a first grader, you would need like your parents' help to get on the internet. Whereas like it would have been way worse like today where like kids can just get on the internet themselves. Like imagine some kid's information sheet that like some kid that got Barack Obama, the information he comes back with after typing Barack Obama into the whitehouse.com search bar.
Oh my god.
Oh
All
shit.
right. All right,
That,
Timmy, what did you
that
learn
poor.
about Barack Obama last night? Well, it was hard to find stuff, but he really likes his stepsister,
I was
and
gonna say,
he got
like bring
stuck in the
it.
dryer.
Oh shit. To bring it back to like the parents having to do the homework with them, like that lady probably had a bunch of parents getting the CPS cases because of this
Right?
for showing their kids porn by accident.
All right, Hunter, you're next up with a theory.
Okay, cool. I just thought of this one while we were recording. Because it's another fun one that I know we've talked about several times, but I just want to reiterate it. Helen Keller is a fucking myth. She
I
was
was waiting for
not
Fraud,
that.
blind.
I
She
was
is
fraud
waiting.
ass
not deaf.
bitch.
You're telling me a bitch that wrote 14 books and flew a plane is deaf.
And blind.
And
And
mute.
yeah, and blind. And yeah,
I, I,
Bitch is a human doorstop.
I can wrap my head around the books. The
bitch is
flying
like,
is bullshit.
I can't wrap my head around how she learned sign language
I
or
don't
or
know.
braille or whatever language that she learned.
How did she learn to form a thought?
Yeah, like how did anybody ever communicate with her? Like teach that Michael Vick jersey sign language, Hunter. I mean, and so like
Uh,
the conspiracy theory side of this is that her handler, I can't remember the girl's name, but she had like a full-time caretaker, obviously. Um, because I mean she was basically a human Roomba. Uh, but yeah, so
no, Roombas can listen to you.
her caretaker, um, the conspiracy theory is that she wrote the books and did all the stuff, but gave Helen Keller credit to like build a story, build fame, sell books. Yeah,
That's
that
weird. Because I was just about to say, like, or what is the point? Why fake that she was blind and deaf and all this shit?
well, see, so I don't think she wasn't blind and deaf. I don't think she actually did. It's okay. This is like a side conspiracy theory to corroborate this conspiracy theory. So there's no video footage of Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
in a time period where they were recording and televising games. There happened to not be this one NBA game with one of the most famous players in the league wasn't recorded at
Televised.
all. So,
Yeah.
same type deal. Other than these books that she supposedly wrote, we have no evidence that Helen Keller did any of the stuff she said. Like, and because I've looked into this. I mean, like I said, I've been very vocal about my feelings about Helen Keller in the previous 123 episodes of this podcast. I've never seen a video of her doing sign language or even a video of her reading Braille.
She's fraud, fake, not real, myth. Why do does the public system still teach this? Do they still teach about Helen Keller?
I never learned about Helen Keller.
I did.
Like,
Sped classes have different priorities.
kill yourself.
Sorry, that
Yeah.
one was right there.
Oh, I was taught it in elementary, like first, second grade.
Yeah, then like we didn't go to like a whole big thing about it, but like we knew who she
I
was.
learned her name somewhere.
Yeah, we just like
But
touched over it. Like it wasn't like a high school class over Helen Keller write a 5-page report on her 14 books.
Jesus.
So
Wiz. Oh
I
wait,
should
no.
my whole thing for this year is to read a book a month. I should make one of Helen Keller's books
Oh my
part of my
god.
Do
reading
it.
list.
Oh my god, do it.
Just be mad the whole time. This lying ass bitch.
You're reading a book of lies.
Every typo. Fucking blind bitch.
She used the wrong your.
Couldn't
But
even
my
get a
problem is I'd be
couldn't even
reading
get
in
a
her
proof.
voice the whole time.
Do
Do
it.
the impression.
I'd be reading it in her voice the whole time.
Y'all are going to hell.
Yeah.
But that just
Um,
it hurts my brain to think about if like being blind and deaf, and then like if you're a person who teaches sign language or braille or whatever you teach, how do you teach? How do you teach
like
that?
if you're teaching Braille, like this is
Like
a
braille would be the easiest. I mean, I say easiest because like you could take her finger and feel like, okay, this is braille. Like this is cat. Well, what the fuck is a cat?
Cat go moo.
I was thinking like you hand them like an object, like that they like this is an apple. Like you think they know what an apple is? They've ate it.
Uh-oh.
Kill yourself. I need to stop saying that.
But like, I get what you're saying though. Like,
Owl. Owl.
how you put those pieces together? Like, it's so hard to comprehend. And that's at like the very. That's not even really like language learning. That's just matching. That's just
I
matching letters to an item. Like, how
I
do you?
wonder if
Okay,
she wasn't
do it with
pitch
something
black
that's
blind.
do it with something that's not a noun. Like you're doing braille and then like running. This is run. She can't see you do it. She can't hear you do it. Are you gonna make her get up and run?
Let's imagine how you do that.
Yeah, like it's crazy to think about. All
Maybe
right.
she was just like blurry blind though. 'Cause that they do call that blind.
I mean, yeah, there is like a point of being legally blind, but in all the pictures, I've never seen a picture of Helen Keller with glasses on. Because I know people who are legally blind, but wear glasses to where like they can see good enough to function in day-to-day life.
Her eyes probably look like
But she was
those
mute.
little.
Well, yeah,
I don't know if
she's
she's mute
blind
or
and deaf.
not.
That's
Doesn't mean
true.
you're mute.
How would you
You
learn
can just say,
words?
like you can still like talk.
That's where all the Helen Keller voice jokes come from.
Yeah. Fuck, I was saying something to made me forget it. Fuck. Fuck.
All right, Wiz, next theory.
Okay.
Damn it, that's gonna bug me. I want to.
So I don't know how much I have to say about this, but the 2 years MJ was in the MLB, the minors,
Hmm.
was because he was suspended for gambling by the
Yeah,
NBA.
that's a pretty common one.
And
I haven't heard that one.
my
You never
biggest
heard that?
reason I never heard
Never
it
heard
until
that
last
one.
week when I looked
Oh,
it
I
up.
heard that one a lot. I guess I look into this stuff more than y'all.
My biggest reason to believe it is
Subtle weird
because
flex.
why would why would someone at the hippity top, like there was no one else
Yeah,
above him after those 3 championships, go to baseball, suck for a year, and do it for a second year?
yeah.
That's a good point. Valid.
Well, see, I thought the thing was is like I thought he didn't suck. Like he wasn't an all-star, but like his batting
He
average was average, which I mean, for someone who played basketball for the last 10 years, like it's pretty impressive to just show up to AAA season opener and be average.
good
But
He
anyway, no,
finished
I
with a 209 batting average.
it's not that bad. I mean, I would say that's average. Because
No,
I've always said anything from 200 to 250 is average. You're an average hitter. Anything above 250 is good. Anything above 300 is great.
I'd say it's slightly below average in my baseball opinion, but it's just even if it is average, who wants to be average after
Yeah.
being
No,
the best?
I get what you're saying. And especially, so this one gained a lot of traction after The Last Dance came out, and everyone got a look into like how bad his gambling problem really was. Like he was like playing dice like before games with that uh with like the arena staff,
The crazy hair guy and
the
stuff like
blonde
that.
guy. Yeah, like his gambling was terrible. And so it kind of gave a lot more credibility to like his gambling was really out of control. And uh and the thing was like before Michael Jordan, like the NBA wasn't like the number two sports league. Like it was kind of like the MLB and NFL were kind of fighting for the top spot, and then NBA was like very much third. And Michael Jordan changed all that. Like Michael Jordan made the NBA a premier professional sports league. So the commissioner, knowing all this, like you can't run the face of your league, the lifeblood of your league out of town. So you kind of have to allow him to like go gracefully. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not. It's hard to say because like I don't have a lot of facts. Um, but yeah, I've heard that one before, and I don't know. I see both sides because like at one hand I can see it, the other hand I'm like he. I mean he had said before he ever played basketball that his lifelong dream was to play professional baseball.
I just think about Michael Jordan. He, especially in the Last Dance, whether it's gambling or basketball, he's like the ultimate competitor.
Wait, he's a savage.
Yes. Oh, Larry Bird, a bitch.
But so I get where you're going. Look at it from this side. Like he just had a three-peat. Maybe he felt like it wasn't enough of a challenge.
You said I'm gonna get good at this. I get it. I just thought it was interesting.
No, I mean it is interesting. Like I said, I see both sides of it. I'm just trying to view it from both sides. All right, my third one, really my second one, because that Illuminati one was kind of just whatever. So after World War II, after we dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki and saw how devastating they were, that was kind of an eye opener for the US government. And the US government was like, we need to do some tests. We need to understand not just the bombs themselves, but the fallout and the effect that the bombs have wherever we drop them. So they were trying to figure out the effects of like the nuclear fallout from an atomic bomb on the human body. So the conspiracy theory is that the US government was smuggling dead bodies, specifically dead children and infants, and dropping nuclear bombs on them to test the effects of the irradiation would have on the bodies, because obviously they couldn't do it to alive people.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
And I
That's
included
fucked
that
up.
one. I included that one today because that one was actually declassified and proven to be true.
What?
Called
Whoa.
called Project Sunshine. The federal government had a special task force of agents whose job was to go around and take go to like hospitals, and when children or babies would die in hospitals, like they would be there like as soon as it happened, and they would just take them, or they would take the bodies, or more commonly parts of bodies. It was more common they would just take a limb. They wouldn't take the whole body. They would just basically go to hospitals, find a dying kid, and wait for that kid to die. As soon as they died, these federal agents would swoop in, cut a leg off, take it back to Nevada, and drop a bomb on it.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That is wild.
yeah. That kind
It's
of
al-
like what?
it didn't sound fuck, but it's almost like funny to me.
I mean,
Like,
so I feel like this one, like
I
looking
can't
back,
wrap my head around it.
My
I feel
eyes
like
are big
looking
as
back, it's
fuck.
easy to be like, they're already dead, like no harm, no foul type deal. But like, imagine like if that was like today. Imagine if like you heard today, like with like all like the UFO stuff. Imagine if like they were saying that like the government was testing out some new like weapon system that they got from somewhere outside of Earth, and they were stealing dead babies from the hospital to shoot them with alien laser beams. Like we would all think that was the craziest shit we'd ever heard. And that's basically what this is.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it's fucking been declassified as true. That's what,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how satisfying that is, like whenever a conspiracy is confirmed.
Well, I told y'all like in my teaser for this episode at the end of last week, my favorite conspiracy theory, right? Do you remember what I said, Hunter? The Martin Luther King
No,
one? In
I don't
1999,
remember.
in 1999, the family of Martin Luther King Jr. won a civil lawsuit
Oh, I remember that.
against the federal government, in which the court determined that the federal government was responsible for the assassination of Martin Luther King, and his family was awarded $1 million.
I
Wow.
remember that.
Because the conspiracy
Well,
for the longest time was that the FBI was after Martin Luther King, and which turned out to be very true. The letters and stuff that they sent him have come out where like they were just completely harassing this man. And then supposedly it turns out that they were responsible for his assassination, whether they directly handled it or some way or another, they were responsible for having him assassinated.
Well, why do they want to have him assassinated?
Because this was this was back when people didn't care too much for the civil rights movement. And the federal government
Okay, so
won.
because he was such a because he was such a progressionist with it and like pushed
Well,
it
he was
so
the
far.
leader
They're
of the civil
like,
rights movement at the time.
exactly, yeah.
And so they were trying to shut down, the FBI was trying to shut down the civil
He
rights
said, "I'm gonna
movement
shut this
because
shit down now."
J. Edgar Hoover, the leader of the FBI, saw the civil rights movement and civil rights protesters as like, I don't want to say enemies of the state, but like they saw them as like intentionally trying to like stir up drama and unrest and rile people up. All right. Does anybody have any others?
Crazy.
Because I've saved my big one.
I've got a cut,
Really. Okay. Yeah. Y'all go because
but
the one that
but real
I have like stats for.
Oh fuck
while
yeah!
while we're on civil rights, I've been seeing TikToks. I haven't fact checked it, but apparently Rosa Parks' husband owned a car.
What?
Well, listen,
Rosa,
he was probably at work. Okay. You can't just leave work to drive her to Target.
oh, but it just kills me that people are making videos about that, and I
They
really
were
need to fact
they were
check that.
supposed to be saving money anyways. If she'd have just stayed home like she was supposed to.
um,
Do you have 100?
I mean, it's not necessarily one solid one. It's kind of like a highway, and the highway. The topic is the highway, and the branch conspiracies are the exits. So, what the fuck is fuck? I guess I can't speak. What the fuck is in Antarctica?
Okay, Ashley requested me to talk about
Penguins.
that. Are you talking about the aliens?
Anything in general, there's so many different theories about what's down there.
Like no, it's like gaining traction lately, but there's a whole theory that the government, like there's aliens colonizing Antarctica and the government is keeping us from it. And that's why like no ships go to it, and you have to get like all these certifications and shit to go to Antarctica.
You
And
realize you realize a guy from like like a British guy walked across Antarctica, right?
they probably fucking organized it with him where he didn't encounter the aliens.
He did it by himself.
They told him where to go.
Okay.
Nah, that was a skinwalker now.
But no, there is like a whole cult obsession with aliens on Antarctica.
Yeah, on Google Earth, if you go look at Antarctica and you zoom in, you see like a bunch of these weird figures like making these weird patterns in the snow, and there's like one leader. And then when you zoom out, it disappears. But you only see it whenever you zoom in really
That's
close.
interesting. I do
Yeah.
love me a good Google Earth conspiracy. Like if you see
Um,
the go like the websites where like they'll show like murder scenes on like Google Earth where like you seen the
Oh,
one where it's like a guy on like a dock like
yeah, I've seen
with
that
like a
one.
body that he's like throwing a body in the water that he like got caught by the Google Earth satellite.
That's crazy.
I
Imagine,
remember
imagine getting caught by Google fucking Earth.
I remember one time I was on Google Earth just like scrolling through the ocean and just found like a massive red pool of blood like in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And like your
That's weird.
brain instantly goes like, "Oh, like shark kill." But I'm talking like I mean, I was on a satellite image of Google Earth. So I mean, this was like a significantly large pool of bright red blood. 'Cause I remember like staring
Maybe
at that for like 30 minutes when I was a kid. Like, what did I just find?
maybe it was a whale.
Could have been. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm sure it was something natural, but
I ran into another fun one whenever I was just on TikTok scrolling through conspiracy theories. And supposedly there was an island in China that still had dinosaurs.
I think I've
I don't know if
heard
you've heard
something
that.
about this.
I didn't get to dive too deep into it. I heard that. I didn't know if maybe y'all heard it too. It was
I have
weird.
not heard that.
I have another one that Hunter reminded me of that I'm adding that I like.
Yes, I see you over there frantically typing.
Yeah, 'cause, like I know like the basic story, but I want to get like the real details. It like so y'all if y'all have anything else about Antarctica, y'all can keep going while I get my thoughts together on this.
I'm
That
trying to
that's
think what
all
else
I
could be
have.
down
That people
there.
have obsession about it. Like It might be like one of the most popular like conspiracy theories right now.
Okay, here we go. That's why I got it. Okay, so talking about so the theory is that the moon is hollow and is a not necessarily man-made, but like it's an artificial structure, and it basically like a space station. The moon is like an artificially made space station for either humans or extraterrestrials. The evidence of this is that in 19 in the 1960s or 70s, um, when they were doing the Apollo missions to the moon, they left a bunch of instruments on the moon to record data, send back to Earth. Well, they left seismometers, which like record earthquakes and stuff. Well, after they had left one of those seismometers, an asteroid hit the moon, which is relatively common. If you look at the moon, it's covered in craters. So an asteroid or some foreign object hit the moon and the seismometer recorded it, but it didn't record it like a normal earthquake. Because like if y'all have ever seen the like seismometers that record earthquakes, it's real quick, it's like done.
Mhm.
This said that like the moon reverberated and like rang like a bell. And it all the people at NASA were very confused by this. So like this is not it's not a natural thing to happen like that. That kind of reverberation doesn't happen in nature. So to test it, when they did the Apollo 11 mission, and this is fact, um, or no, Apollo 12, Apollo 11 was the one that landed on the moon, the first time. Uh, the Apollo 12 mission, um, after they left, like the moon, when they were like their ascent stage as they were leaving, they intentionally crashed their landing module into the moon. And this is per the NASA report. The moon rang like a bell for almost an hour.
Hmm.
That's an official NASA document on an official NASA operation. And so yeah, there's many theories that spin off of that data. Some say it's some say it's that, some say that it's a spaceship, some say it's a Russian satellite. Like there's a million different theories. But yeah, that one's interesting. That's one of the like the ones like originally that got me down the wormhole of conspiracy theories. I like the ones where there's like a seed of truth to follow.
That kind of leads me into the one I kind of teased a little bit before we started recording. I kind of ditched it last second because I couldn't really find any good information on it. But about how NASA originally started to explore the ocean and then all of a sudden switched to wanting to go to the space. Like, what was so
Mm,
bad down
yeah,
there that they're trying to find a way to get the fuck off? Like, get the fuck out of here.
yeah, I've heard that too. Well, yeah, well that and the fact that supposedly they say that we have a better understanding of space than we do of the ocean. Like we've only explored like
Oh yeah.
10% of the ocean.
5%.
Yeah.
5% of the ocean has been, or probably more by now. That's probably an old stat. It's the ocean scares me, low key. Like,
Oh, I'm terrified of open water.
yeah, no, that's why I didn't want to come to my bachelor party.
Which we didn't even end up going out into open
That
water.
was such a shit show. I'm just joking, Liz. That was a shit show. You're lucky you didn't go. Like I felt bad. Gooch had to drive all the way down from Oklahoma for that.
What y'all do?
I
We cooked
What did we
burgers.
fucking do?
We
Yeah, we
made like
barbecued for a
50
while.
we made like 50 stuffed jalapenos.
Uh,
Jesus.
Drink a lot of beer and
Watched a lot of
seltzers.
college football.
Oh my god, yeah.
Spent a lot of money on sleeper.
Spent a lot of time consoling Rowdy.
That dude, that trip really was
That was
like
crazy.
so. Our trip got canceled. Um, the like half the party was late as fuck to the Airbnb. Uh, Rowdy lost his dog and had to leave early.
What?
Well, he
Yeah,
didn't like his
yeah. So we get
girlfriend, now fiance.
he gets a phone call like was it it was the second day. Yeah, like so we got there that night and then the next day as we're like, oh, was
It
it
was
while we
when
were
it was when we found out the power was out at the house.
oh yeah, so we go like take the ferry back
Brother,
to the
let me explain it. I got
yeah,
this because I
you got
remember
it.
this shit. Because it was, oh my god, it was
It
a
was your
torturous
bachelor
fucking
party
weekend.
after
Yeah,
all.
exactly. It was the trip down there was fun. Like I had fun going down there with Gooch. And then
Well, yeah, the
night
first night
one,
was great because like nothing went wrong until the second day.
exactly. Like first night was great. We get there, the AC was on. Uh, we turned it down like super low. I don't
Hunter
know
had
what
that bitch
Rowdy
on like
turned it down.
58. It was
No,
cold as
Rowdy
shit.
did.
It was so cold in that house.
But it smelled like, you know when a house
Smelled
has
like
been like the power's been
chlorine.
turned off in a house.
It smelled like a
There's
pool house to me.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, whenever the electricity's been shut off for in the
Yeah.
house for so long, it just smelled stale. And apparently that was the truth because we thought the freezer was broken. No, the power was out.
Yeah.
The next day, the freezer worked.
Jesus.
We just drank and bullshit the first night. And then it started storming out of nowhere. There was no prediction of the whole time we planned this trip. There was like
Yeah.
not a chance of rain, and then that shit came out of nowhere. The next morning, it's like it's not raining, but there's
You can
thunder
see
and
it
lightning.
like you can see it like on the horizon, like out in the ocean.
Yeah, and you can still see thunder and lightning. And so it's 5:30 in the morning, and we're fucking like half hungover. Everybody's popping Excedrin. We're
We have to be
popping
at the dock at 6.
yeah, we're popping. What's the fucking nausea medicine?
Dramamine?
Yeah, we're popping Dramamine, and we start heading to the ferry. Luckily, the beach house was right by the ferry, and we were first in line for it. And as we're on the ferry,
Yeah, like we're like the
the
ferry
cap
is in motion. Like
yeah, we're in the middle of the fucking ocean right now, and the captain messages Julian and says we got to cancel. There's lightning, and we're like, motherfucker, what are we gonna do? It's like 5:45 at this point. We're in the middle of the ocean. We can't turn around, so we're just gonna go get breakfast. So we went
well, and
to
Julian wasn't
Galveston.
Julian like texting the guy like, well, like, hey, can like we like wait it out? Can we
Yeah,
do like a delay? Like
yeah, we
trying to like
tried waiting
bargain
it
with the
out,
guy,
and then he was asking him if he knew anybody else that like did fishing charters.
and he just
And
went
he's like,
ghost.
nope, I don't. Yeah, it's just. So we went and ate breakfast, and
Oh,
but
because we asked the guy like if we could meet him at like 8 or something. Like if he could push it back to like 8 o'clock.
yeah, he said no, he can't because it'll
Yeah,
mess up the other reservations or some bullshit.
it's something
And he
stupid.
just gave us our money back, and so we like, oh, we'll just go spend it at a bar, get fucked up,
Yeah,
and watch college football. I mean, it's $400. So there was a Margaritaville we passed, so it's perfect. And so we go to eat breakfast. Whenever we leave breakfast, the storm's gone.
yeah. Like
It's
so,
fucking
we
like
asked to meet
light
this
gray
guy
skies,
at 8 o'clock. We leave the breakfast place at 8:15. No rain, blue skies.
blue skies. I mean, I think it was earlier than that because it was still the sunrise. Because the
Yeah,
sun was still rising up.
because we were all walked out and we're like, we could have met this guy at 8, and because we paid for like 6 to noon, and we told or 6 to 11, and we told the guy like, just take us out at 8 and bring us back at the original time. Like that's fine. We'll pay the regular price. And he was like, nope, can't. Or I don't think he said anything. He just ghosted. I think he just ghosted
Yeah, he ghosted
Julian.
Julian.
Because like we
He
were
just gave us
offering
money
to
back and
pay
just
him
cut
for the
bait.
6-hour trip and just him take us out whenever the rain stopped.
What was it fishing on the ocean side or the bay side?
Bayside.
Bayside.
Why does it
It
even
was going to
fucking
be jetty
matter?
fishing. I don't fucking know. Anyways, that's not even half of it. So we're
So yeah,
just
now we have
like, fuck it.
$600 to just burn.
I think we said, oh, we were gonna go buy fishing poles. Also, that's what we're gonna do. Also, we're gonna go buy
Well,
fishing poles, go fishing ourselves.
that was
Before, but
plan B because plan A was go find a bar and all just get
hold
drunk.
on, hold on, because we were bullshitting about doing that on the way back, and then we said, fuck it, we'll see what happens, or I
Yeah.
can't remember. I can't remember. And then we get back to the house, and there's no power. We're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And it's just, luckily it's still like it didn't happen so long ago. We had the house for so cold at 58.
Yeah.
It kept the house cold for a pretty long time. So we sat there and just said fuck it and drank at the house, and said we'll just go find a sports bar to go drink at, because I called the
Yeah, 'cause
office.
College
said
games started
that-
at 11 and it was like
Yeah,
9.
Yeah, it was like 9 o'clock. We're at the house. I called the leasing office. I'm like, hey, we have no power. What's going on? They said that the storm blew a tree over, or no power line over, or something like that, and the whole island's out of power.
Well, no, the office told us that only half the island was out of power. That's why we
right.
drove to Margaritaville.
Yes. And we said, fuck it, we'll go to Margaritaville and watch the college football games. We go to Margaritaville. First off, pain in the ass to find any help there.
Well,
Pain in the ass.
so we see Margaritaville, and I thought it was like a Margaritaville. No, there's a Margaritaville RV park.
Oh my god.
So they had like
What?
one restaurant and bar on site. So we were like, can we just come like go in there? Like we're not at the RV park, but can we just come in and watch football? And they're like, we don't have power. Whole island doesn't have power. So we're like, are you fucking serious? So we drive 1 mile
Not
farther
even.
farther into town because that's when we're like, all right, we're just gonna see if we can find somewhere to buy fish and stuff, and we'll just fish ourselves by the house.
No, we were gonna do, yeah, no, we were gonna do that, or we were gonna do party stuff. We were
Either
just
way,
gonna fucking buy the party
we
stuff.
gave
Yeah,
up
that's
on
what-
going
okay.
somewhere. So we drive a mile into town after being told that the whole island was out.
We said, fuck it, we're gonna try to find
We're-
the first place with power.
Were y'all in Bolivar?
Yes. We drive
We were trying to
1
find
mile from Margaritaville. Gas station we stop at, power. Drive across the street to the grocery store, power there. Every building that we can see down this road, all power. 5 minutes after being told to just go back to the house because the whole island's out of power.
Mm-hmm.
So frustrating.
So we ended up going to that the big store that's down there, and got the shit to go fishing. Got the shit for party drinks. I think or party games we didn't even use.
Yeah, we got cards and cups and ping pong balls that we never opened.
Yeah.
Well, and so
hold
there's
on,
a reason.
time
The
out.
reason we didn't open them.
Hold on, time out. The biggest. I left out a huge thing. As we get back to the house and find out, or as I'm on the phone with the leasing office, asking about the power, Rowdy comes in from outside and says, "My dog's lost," and we're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, so like I said,
So he's-
we bought cards and cups for beer pong and card games. We get back to the house and no one wants to play cards because Rowdy's just depressed.
Jesus.
Like, and no one's willing to be the guy that's like, so who are we gonna play beer pong or what? Like,
we were just like fucking drinking barbecue. Let's just do that. It heals the soul. And then Gooch helped me make a bunch of jalapeno poppers. How many?
So
we made
many.
A fucking shitload.
well, so the night before we were at the grocery store and Hunter was like, I'll go get the peppers for jalapenos. So me and Rowdy get what we're getting, and we go back and we see Hunter just loading peppers into this bag. And I look at Rowdy and I'm like, I wonder if he remembers that like you cut the peppers in half. So every pepper he puts in there is 2 poppers. And I think we had like 50. I think we made like 50 jalapeno poppers. And we had this little baby ass like 18-inch tailgater charcoal grill to cook them on. And of course, it's charcoal, so you have to
That
let that
was
shit
the
burn down.
hottest fucking
Well,
grill I've
we
ever
put
cooked in my
way
life.
too much charcoal in the bottom. We like filled the bottom of it with charcoal. So we waited like an hour for the coals to burn off, and it was still too hot. And I mean, I was like, I'm surprised I didn't get blisters on my hand
We
from
were
trying to
having
cook
trouble
on that grill.
keeping it lit. It wouldn't stay lit for the longest.
And then it lit. And I
It
mean, like
fucking lit.
we cooked on that grill for like 2 hours.
Drinking non fucking stop that entire, just bullshitting downstairs about the dog. He's like, yeah, I might have to go. I might have to leave. I ended up leaving at fucking 4 in the morning. Oh, also
What?
this A&M lost to
Yeah, lost to
um
Miami.
yeah, you lost to Miami, and then
And then Texas lost to Bama. Or no, Texas beat Bama.
yeah, Brady was going through it.
Rowdy was down bad.
I felt so bad for him.
Oh, and then
Really.
me and Hunter like really twisted Rowdy's arm into getting onto sleeper picks. Rowdy lost like $100
Jeez.
on sleeper
What?
picks just on Saturday.
I think it was. I think it was 200.
You may
Oh
be
no,
right.
on Saturday, yeah, 100. That was rough. Hey, it was fun though. Like looking back, it may have been shitty, but it was still like it's fun to look back and laugh at it. It look make light of the bad times, I guess.
All
Is a
right.
way to say it.
Are y'all ready for my last conspiracy
Yes.
theory?
Oh, we never even caught anything. Oh, wait. Yeah, hold on. The power came on at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's whenever.
Right as it
Rowdy
was
said-
starting to get actually hot in the house.
Yeah, and then that's whenever I think A&M started losing.
Oh yeah, because we caught the end of the A&M game on the TV.
You know, we didn't catch. We didn't catch a fucking crab. We didn't catch a fucking fish. We didn't catch shit.
No, nothing.
And then we just said, "Fuck it, let's go back and drink." And then we just drank, smoked cigars.
Watch football.
Well, yeah, watched football, snorted cocaine.
Did not do that.
Did not do that. I'm just joking.
All right, are you ready for this last conspiracy theory?
Yes.
It's a good one.
The one
I
with
just
stats and
learned about
everything.
it. So, the border. We have a border crisis in Texas. So first of all, are y'all familiar with the Chinese migrants buying up land in the United States? It's like here in
No, I'm not.
Oklahoma, Chinese people are buying up a ton of land, and a lot of it is for like marijuana grow operations. Now that we have medicinal marijuana, but like a couple of years ago, they busted like a big human trafficking operation at one of these marijuana growers because they were basically using slave labor for these massive marijuana grow operations, and they took out like 100 something people that were living in like 3 foot by 3 foot plywood shacks. And they were slaves being forced to harvest these marijuana plants. So, anyway, there's like a big trend growing of Chinese entities, usually companies, but if you know anything about the Chinese market and government, they're like all Chinese companies are tied back to the government. They have to be accessible to the Chinese government. If the Chinese government asks any Chinese company for information, they have to give it to it. So that's why that's why the whole thing with TikTok was a big deal. Because like you can say that you're an independent company all you want, but if the government just decides one day that it wants all that information, you're gonna turn it over. Like,
what did you get? A 12-piece spicy chicken sandwich?
yeah, number two,
Doesn't it
large
count?
fry.
What'd you get?
A count.
So anyways, so as of right now, there are 383,000 acres of land in the United States under Chinese ownership. I have pulled up a map or two maps that show the where that land is and where that land is in relation to American military bases.
Okay.
So take a look at
You
this.
got me like in this.
This on the left is where the Chinese companies own land in America. And this map on the right is military bases in the United States. So look at some of the major overlaps here. So here along all down the coast of California and into Arizona, so much Chinese owned land. Now look at the string of military bases all down the coast of California and into Arizona.
El Paso's safe, apparently.
Look up here at the northern part of
Colorado.
Utah. Now look over here.
Yeah.
Lots of Chinese land in the
Utah.
northern part of Utah. Go over to the Carolinas. Lot of massive concentration of Chinese owned land in the Carolinas. Move over here. A massive concentration of military bases in the Carolinas. Even like so this one little random grouping around like the Orlando area in Central Florida. Well, what's in Central Florida? A random military base. So that's just it's just
Well, the Chinese don't
it's
panhandle either.
It's weird. You know what I mean? Like it's very hard to look at that and call it a coincidence. Like why are the Chinese focusing so much of their land ownership so close to American military bases? And on top of that, y'all are going to laugh at the source on this, but
Wikipedia.
Dr. Phil
I was not prepared for that.
No,
did like
that was none of my top 100 guesses.
That was not
recently
on my bingo card at
did
all.
a report on the border
What was that?
situation. And
Honey.
he went, honey, just a bowl of honey.
Hey,
Get
hot
some-
honey's good.
Put some
It's not
mustard in
honey.
it, you weirdo. But yeah, so Dr. Phil did a whole report on the border situation. Went down there, interviewed a bunch of border agents, did a lot of filming on everything at the border, and kind of stumbled upon this Chinese immigration situation at the border. In 2023, 33,000 Chinese migrants entered the country illegally at the southern border. And in talking to these border agents, Dr. Phil talked about an interview he had with a border agent where he said that of these 33,000 Chinese migrants that are coming through, the majority of them, according to these border agents, seem to be military-aged males. He said the Chinese people coming across the border don't look like the rest of the people coming across the border. He said they're fit, they're in shape. He said, we're seeing Chinese men with six packs and like clean, fresh military haircuts coming across the border. Like, these guys are wearing like clean pants and like military boots coming across, pouring. I mean, 33,000 in the last year across the border. Supposedly, this Chinese-owned land surrounding military bases. And if you really want to make your skin crawl, go on TikTok and start looking up the videos about the Chinese hacking capabilities. And supposedly there have been like precursors, I guess you could say, that like are leading officials to believe that China already has systems in place to hack and take over like large systems and networks in the
So
United States.
So tying into that last little bit, I forgot to talk about this. So I had heard that China had access to our missile systems. They've hacked it, in my theory.
China.
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 And that then we have no way to shoot down their incoming EMP.
Interesting. And so now this is where like you get real tinfoil hat. This is not me speaking. This is just the things I hear. So all that, so like as I'm researching this week, getting my graphics together and my statistics today. What happened today? What was y'all's phone service like this morning?
I was
Oh,
fine.
they're preparing us for the EMP.
So that the tinfoil hat side of the internet is claiming that this was like a test run on their capabilities and their ability to shut down certain systems and isolate us.
That's weird. AT&T Stadium, AT&T Towers just disappeared today.
It
Fucking
didn't
Cowboys
disappear. It
burning
just
everything
stopped
down.
working.
That's what I mean. Fuck, I don't know how to explain it.
AT&T Stadium just disappeared. Every phone that goes into SOS mode's another seat out of the house that Jerry built.
Yeah, my cell service was fine. I have Verizon though.
I have T-Mobile.
My work phone's Verizon, thank God.
What's your personal?
AT&T.
You.
So I'd like call Ashley on my work phone today. I usually call her, let her know I get to work. I'm like, oh, she's gonna think I'm dead. I'm like, wait, I got
Verizon
my
has
work
so much.
phone.
They have so much better signal. Verizon has a really good signal. Never let me down.
I really expected a bigger reaction from Hunter on the Chinese or
It
planning
makes me believe him.
themselves to take over the
Oh no,
country.
I'm like paralyzed on the inside. Like I'm crippled.
I said the weed. I should have led with that one before the weed took over.
You really should have, because it makes me believe in the EMP theory so much better,
Yeah,
so
I
much
mean,
more.
All that's gonna do is keep me up at night now. Like now tonight, I'm not gonna sleep. Thank you.
start watching some TikToks about it.
No, I'm good. That's. Oh
And
shit!
on
Now that I've
top
been
of
searching conspiracy theory things, it's gonna be in my for you
Send
page
them to
now.
me, Gooch, please.
on
Send
top
them
of
to me.
that, I also
You can send it
saw
to me. I don't care.
a TikTok financial guy that I saw uh, on that I follow on TikTok posted a video last week about several Congress people who are like kind of like the high performers on like the stock market because like you have like the Congress people that everyone gets mad about that seem to outperform everybody on the stock market and make millions of dollars. They definitely don't have any insider information. Well, a bunch of those specific Congress people that people kind of track their stock activity closely all just like last week cashed out like millions of dollars worth of stocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be crippled tonight. Just like crippling anxiety.
Like I can't remember one of the guys. It was Tommy something, but he's like one of like he's like number two to Nancy Pelosi in like stock performance in Congress, and he just cashed out like 80% of his stock holdings. Just sold it all and just took it cash.
So,
Which, if you know
what's
anything
your
about,
game one?
huh?
What's your day one game plan if there's an EMP attack?
Oh, it's
I
always
don't have
been
one.
well. So EMP attack is hard. Like, so y'all remember like like the original like days of COVID when like there were like conspiracy theories that they were gonna like bring in the military to like shut down larger cities and like keep people locked down and stuff. So for that, my plan was always just go out to my dad's. My dad lives out in the country. I'll take my guns. He's got his guns, whatever. We can just hide out. EMP is a lot harder because EMP, you can't drive your car.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What?
Yeah, like unless your
Anything
car is
electric
like
stops
unless your
working.
car is like pre 1990s, like if your car doesn't have a carburetor and it gets EMP'd, it's a brick. Because like
Like E-
all that electric stuff is toast. Like your electronic ignition switch in your car, fried, done, not gonna work.
God damn it, bro!
Mhm.
So
You just unlocked a whole new fear.
yeah,
It's
no,
crazy.
I mean it is something to think about because like
I've never thought about it.
we've actually been talking about this at work the last week or so, and yeah, I mean it like it tempts me to like go out and buy like an older truck just to like have just so I can. I mean, because like the thing is like I mean like, I don't have like a crazy amount of guns. I have two
I've got
guns.
none. I've got none.
So
I'm
like
fucked.
if the EMP went off right now, like I can't get to my dad. My dad lives an hour away, going 80 down the turnpike. Like it would take me weeks to get my family to my dad's house.
You think an '06 Ford F-150 would be all right?
No.
No,
Fuck.
toast. You still have that
Yeah.
truck?
Yeah.
Damn. Um, no, I said like if it doesn't have a carburetor, it's not gonna run. So yeah, like my end goal is get out
I could drive a lawnmower.
to my dad's. Depends on how
Drive a
new the
fucking.
lawnmower is. Because like
I got a
we we were talking
craft
about that
one.
today at work when we were like joking about the AT&T stuff. One of my coworkers was like, "Well, I'll just take a forklift from one of our forklifts from work." And I was like, "Half our forklifts are electric, and the propane ones have like little electronic modules on them that like control them." And I was like, "You can't like that's like you can't take a forklift."
We have to scan in for our
Yeah,
forklifts for them to
exactly. You
turn
can't
on.
do that.
We live right by the grocery store, so I'd go straight to the
That
grocery store,
And you
rob
would
them.
get
uh,
shot.
you know my apartment. I am
Oh,
there is a grocery store 30 seconds away from my apartment. I am
yeah,
running into
same,
the non-perishables, grabbing what the fuck I can and bunkering down.
same. But no, we'll get shot apparently. How?
Oh,
Because the
if
other
you
people that do the same thing but with guns aren't gonna let you leave with their stuff.
Good point.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
what I would do. I mean, like, I don't know what I would do. It would all be with the end goal of trying to get out to my dad's house. But and I have to do all this with a baby.
ooh, that's right. Yikes.
Yeah, try explaining to my 1-year-old that she can't watch Miss Rachel anymore because we didn't pay our debts to China.
God, I hate Miss Rachel.
You hate Miss Rachel?
The tone of her voice.
Miss Rachel's the least like annoying one, I promise you. There's so many worse than Miss Rachel.
I'll find out
Coco
one
Melon
day.
makes me want to peel my skin off.
Ew,
you
I've
let her
never
watch
wouldn't.
Cocomelon,
Huh?
Yeah, I would
No,
never watch a
God,
Coco
no,
Melon.
oh,
never. For a very specific reason.
I was about
I'll
to
let
say like you're giving your daughter ADHD.
I'll let her watch Miss Rachel for hours on end before I let her watch a second of Coco Melon.
What about Bluey?
Love Bluey. Bluey
Love
is
Bluey.
for the
Oh,
people.
Bluey's good.
I've gotten on Bluey Talk before.
Love Bluey. Bluey make you sad though. There are some episodes of Bluey that like that should make you
There,
sad as fuck.
there's like a miscarriage episode.
Yes, there's like a
Yeah,
miscarriage episode. There's like an infertility episode. There's a postpartum depression episode.
they're deep.
We need to get high Hunter on watching
Get high
Bluey.
on watching Bluey and cry.
That's my healing.
I'm gonna wait like
Oh.
when the nights we're not recording. I'm gonna wait until I know Hunter's high and just start sending him China EMP TikToks.
Hey,
I like conspiracy TikTok. I'll go in a rabbit hole like that. Like I'm bad.
I just want to preface this that I have zero China propaganda on my TikTok feed right now. So if that shit starts popping up,
Is your phone sitting on the desk?
Same.
Yes.
Oh well, yeah. We're all about to be getting the same videos.
Yeah, same here. I know who to blame.
So the CCP is gonna come knock at our door.
We get taken off of all, like, we get scrubbed off the internet.
Uh, yeah, I was keeping that China one in the holster for the last one, so I don't have anything else.
I don't have
No,
anything else
I love
either.
that theory because I feel like that's like the most probable.
I mean, like, part of it is real. I mean, like, they are congregating around military installations, and like, rationally, you have to ask yourself, like, why?
Am
Like,
I the only one who's like low key excited about like Armageddon? Because like you don't have
going
to
to
go to work the
war.
next day. You don't have to go to work the next day if EMPs go off.
Yeah, you're gonna be in a
That's true.
Chinese POW camp. You're gonna be working. You just won't be working. You won't be in a gaming chair.
Oh, that's a good one.
You're gonna have some Chinese sergeant shoving bamboo reeds under your fingernails
Oh, fuck.
Hey, that's how real men work.
because you didn't peel the potatoes fast enough in the lunch hall. Um. All right,
Wiz,
but
do you have
yeah,
anything else?
No, because the EMP was my last thing, so it tied into that well.
the EMP is so scary. I'm gonna be thinking about that for the rest of the night.
Yep, me too. I'm not sleeping tonight. Thank you.
All right. Well, now that we've successfully unsettled our entire audience, we will conclude episode 124. Hope you guys liked our conspiracy episode that we've promised and now delivered. Come back next week. Maybe there'll be sports to talk about next week.
Hopefully
If
so. Probably
if not,
will.
we'll wing
Probably
it
not.
again.
Maybe
We'll talk
rock
about the
and
EMP
basketball's
some
on.
more.
We'll get some WWE talk. We can talk
Um,
about Elimination Chamber.
Teaser. Next week we're gonna have to start talking about March Madness.
Oh
Ooh,
no, we
so
need
close.
as soon as we can. We need to get the below 500 March Madness bracket going.
That's what
That
we're talking
and
about.
I just want to make
well,
sure.
Yeah,
no, the winner, the
the watching
watching
you.
you.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
can't do that until they do selection Sunday.
Yes,
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. We're so close.
but we can start getting people in a thing and collecting like $5 a person or something.
Yes.
For that.
So if you're listening to this, stay tuned. Like, there will be our annual below 500 March Madness bracket challenge. And we will start working out the details for that. Like Wiz said, probably be just a little $5 one entry per person, winner take all. So stay tuned and come back next week for more information on that.